Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is reiterating his support for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky against the backdrop of Friday's explosive meeting with U.S. President Donald Trump. So Prime Minister Trudeau met with President Zelensky and European leaders in London on Sunday for a summit on Ukraine's security. UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer says a coalition of the willing allies will develop a peace plan for Ukraine and then pitch it to the U.S. That's the plan. For more on what this could mean for Ukraine, we're joined by retired Major General David Fraser, CTV News military expert. Good morning to you.
Lindsay, good to be with you.
So before I get to the summit, I need to ask you about that moment between President Zelensky, Donald Trump, J.D. Vance in the Oval Office Friday. What did you think when you saw that interaction?
It's never been seen before. It's historic in the sense of a complete lack of diplomacy, an ambush on Zelensky, and demonstrating, quite frankly, absolute change in where the United States is, that is now aligning itself up with Russia and against all its allies, and in particular against Ukraine, and it's a personal attack on Zelensky himself by the vice president and president going after him. Unheard of. And it has actually prompted what happened on Sunday.
Yeah, so let's get to that. I mean, UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer says any peace plan must include 3 elements. So the first, arming Ukraine. Number 2, security guarantees for Ukraine from Europe. Number 3, the U.S. backstopping the agreement if Russia violates the deal. What would a deal look like this mean for Ukraine?
Well, it means Ukraine lives, it survives. It gives Zelensky what he's looking for is, the security, assurances that they make sure that Russia doesn't come after the rest of Ukraine. It gives the United States what it's looking for. Europe going in there to take the lion's share of the works, and it probably opens up again, the mineral agreement that Trump wanted. It really is a win-win situation for Europe, for Ukraine, and for the United States. The real big question is, will Russia even accept it? But it certainly put Europe now in a mediator role to bring these talks and this end of this war back into play.
Prime Minister Trudeau was the only non-European leader at the weekend summit. What role could Canada play in Europe's peace plan for Ukraine?
Well, it certainly puts Canada in the stage again of showing that there is unanimous support for Ukraine from a NATO point of view, from a European point of view, and having us at the table gives it more credence for that. And it also, for Canadians, it shows that what we've been doing for the last 3 years, we continue to support Ukraine in their fight against Russia. And it also sends a message off the United States: we just can't be pushed around.
The U.S. president says Europe should be responsible for any security guarantees for Ukraine. How does that affect the chances of the U.S. working with Europe on a peace plan?
Well, I think, Europe has now stated through France and UK as the leaders that they will do that. They're prepared to do that. They're prepared. United Kingdom also increased its defense budget this past weekend. So I think, from Trump's point of view, he's getting what he's asking for. And so now the onus is back into Trump's court. He's asked all this to happen. Europe has said, we are prepared to do this. We're working on it right now. And really it shows, if this deal doesn't go through, it's not because Europe didn't want it. It's probably because Trump didn't want it.
Interesting. President Zelensky said he was ready to sign the minerals deal with the U.S., but obviously the Oval Office moment happened. Can the relationship between the U.S. president and President Zelensky be repaired, do you think?
I think it's going to take an awful lot of work, and I think it's going to be the leadership of France and the UK that's going to bring everyone back to the table. Just to say, hey, look, UK, France leading the rest of Europe going, we will give the security assurances. We will do the heavy lifting. We'll put the boots on the ground. We just need you to say you support all of that. That's going to be the only reason that, Ukraine and Trump are going to get back together, because by themselves, it ain't going to happen.
No, it doesn't look like that. And we're hearing this morning President Zelensky saying Russia needs to stop attacking Ukraine with drones and bombs if they want peace talks to take place between both sides. At what point would Russia, do you think, entertain that?
Well, the big question is, and none of us should believe Putin, and this is where, quite frankly, the world has it right, and maybe Trump doesn't understand it, that, Zelensky was trying to make that case, but Putin is going to keep on pushing hard to get gains against Ukraine. He's actually using what happened on Friday and the weekend to their, disinformation campaign. We cannot believe Putin. He will not agree to any agreement.
Well, we appreciate your time and your thoughts as always. Retired Major General David Fraser, thank you.
Lindsay, thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.